touch it on the shoulder, and the neurons in my brain associated with that touch will activate in my brain. You touch my avatar. So there's a lot of mirroring going on here. A very substantial connection. There are backstories. There's a narrative. You're always participating, knowing what the story is, and you wonder how it'll come out. Galaxies at war for the last 1,000 years. Companies in conflict or trying to beat each other to be the first to do X or Y. There's always a backstory. There's always feedback, and especially feedback in short time domains, where all the great psychology lives. A lot of the good psychology of feedback does not live in quarterly and annual reviews. It lives in do this, see how it works, do it again, do it differently, do it the same. I mean, that's the time domain that's really important. There are transparent ranks and levels. You know how people are doing. You know their expertise is related to what they can do in the narrative related to their rank and level. There are synthetic currencies that are traded. These could be actual, or not actual, but synthetic dollars of some sort, but they could be gold pieces or bananas or almost anything. But they're scarce, and you get people making decisions under conditions of scarcity, which is kind of cool for thinking about how economics can actually flow into more social aspects of these games. I'm always playing with teams, and I truly don't win unless my team wins. I've got all kinds of different ways to communicate with people. I can get the people all over on this side of the picture. I can get them all the priests or mages that share my role in the game. I can reconfigure communication any way I want. It's really pretty cool. There are known rules. It's a meritocracy. It's not. I'm not sure how to get promoted. I'm exactly sure how to do that. And here are the rules, and I'll go through the levels that get me there. There's time pressure. There's a clock that's running down. I wonder if we'll be able to do it in time. That's a common, that sense of urgency is a common plea for those that are thinking about business. So the games have this stuff, and the game designers have figured out pretty well, in my opinion, how to configure these different ingredients. And the question is, can we drop them into different categories of work? So let me answer a couple other quick questions of myself or for you about why we think this might work, or other reasons. And known ingredients, let's make that the first reason. The second reason is that there's a new generation that is playing and experiencing these social media tens of hours a week. They're developing expectations about how to relate to other people. They are developing interesting expectations about competition. It's fun, it's familiar. Failure is not the end of the world. Failure is the end of this moment. Pick yourself up, try it again. It doesn't hurt as much. Risk is just part of the game. In fact, if we're all a guild in World of Warcraft, that's we're operating together. We have to, because we can't vanquish Lord Nefarian unless we all play our roles. We're very much we're not going to have a meeting and plan something out and then take action. We're going to, well, let's try this. Okay, that didn't work. Let's meet over here. What went wrong? Let's try it again. So feedback that's happening is immediate. Trial and error is just, that's the way things are done. This notion of I can figure it out. These are all from summaries from our conversations with gamers. So going a little bit closer into the enterprise, we've done some work over the last 2 or 3 years with a lot of the folks at IBM. We did an initial survey, a great fun story. I wonder if we could find anybody at IBM in middle management that played or that operated within a guild in these sophisticated games that would tell us what they thought of the games in relation to their work. I wonder if we could find anybody. Well, we put out, an executive put out a call saying that no harm would come to you in your job if you admitted to being in such a guild. And we found hundreds of middle managers that were quite willing to tell us what they thought about working in this guild, doing the recruiting, the evaluations, setting up the websites, setting up the algorithms for analyzing damage per second. I mean, these are very complex operations. A lot of them believe that this intersection is worth looking at, and most of them believe that these game elements can enhance leadership. And a lot of, instead of the ropes courses now, where we all go to bond and build teams, why don't we actually jump into EVE Online and run a spaceship and try to actually create a business in this fantasy world. So some interesting things happening there. And then this is just one slide that's pretty much close to home. The rest of this stuff is a much larger group here, but I'm an experimental psychologist interested in how people think and feel mostly in the laboratory in relation to game elements. So we're taking that seriously over the last 4 or 5 years. There's several people on campus that are doing this research. This is about the most simple game you could imagine that you play while we're actually watching blood flow in the brain to figure out what's happening. And this gets to this notion of self-representation. So here's the game, this yellow screen. You control one of the green dots, and either a computer or another person, we alternate between the two, controls the other green dot. The game is follow the other green dot. Okay, so you're following this green dot, and one of the times you're told it's another person, and the person waves at you while you're being shoved into the magnet. And the other time you're told that a machine is actually controlling that. When you're told, just the mere belief that this social interaction is with another human being, even though it's just a green dot, not a cool avatar, you activate brain centers involved in person-to-person social communication. When you believe it's just a computer controlling it, you get activation in areas associated with visual processing and perception of movement and stuff that isn't particularly interesting socially. So just the thought, the mental model is enough to really bring a lot of social response to bear.